Hi everybody! How are we doing? Oh my gosh, wait, why do I hear my own stream right now? I don't like that. Where is this coming from? Aha, okay. I found it. Hi everybody, how are we doing today? I just had a long day at work, and so I'm very low energy today. I'm very tired, but we're gonna try to get some work done. And so today's stream really is just, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna do some typing, we're gonna do some chatting, just gonna hang out. We're gonna work on this Adventure April thing that I have over here. We're gonna get this little badge. It's gonna be great. Hello, Moshpit Monk says hello, chat. Remember, we bully the streamer with sippies whenever possible. Thank you for reminding them. I take the first sip of stream of my own accord. Oh.
Refresh yourselves.
And there we go. It begins. Oh no.
Refresh yourselves.
And do the back-to-back. Anyway, so... yeah, so again, I don't really have like a whole plan today. Like here we are, we're just landing on the WorldAnvil homepage. And in fact, we will just go straight to our little plot in progress article. I haven't touched this at all since last stream, so nothing really new has happened since. We still just have this little article right here. And this actually, my window isn't sized correctly for stream right now. Hee-hoo-hoo. That's fine though. I can see the secrets. But yeah, so I just need to recall what I'm doing. And in fact, I kind of don't know what I'm doing. So I think I'm gonna go to the challenge page for Adventure April. I'm gonna look at some of the past, you're low on sippy coins this stream? You gotta lurk more. You gotta come hang out more often. I'm gonna go to the Adventure April page, and I'm going to actually look at some of the old entries for my resources and inspiration. I need some inspiration. I don't-
Refresh yourselves.
I don't totally know what I'm doing. Oh, thank you everyone for the sippies. Okay, so, oh, you got I can't put my mug down after just one. I know there's always gonna be like 2 or 3.
Refresh yourselves.
Alright, so let's look at one-shots from Adventure April 2022. I don't know what I'm totally doing. Neither am I, in truth. I said I was low, not empty, punk. Listen. My mistake, I just got here. It's all good. Here we go. Okay, so I have already looked at... I've looked at A Night in the Gala, and this one, of course, was very cool. Why did it start me like, scrolled all the way down here, though? So really what I'm looking for as far as inspiration goes is just how these articles are laid out. Just essentially like how they're structured. Like what type of information is put where and how they're just how they come to be, how they're organized, set up, presented. And then because I still just don't have an idea for the actual one-shot, for the actual story itself. And so if I don't know what the story's gonna be, I might as well set up an article, you know? Might as well make a little template for myself, so once I do know what I'm doing, then I can kind of just put all that stuff in there later. And that'll be totally fine. So, of course, naturally, I think I will have sections that are player-friendly and sections that are GM-only. That just makes sense. That just that just seems like a given. But yeah, so there's this whole section in the Welcome to Beggettville, of course, introduce the setting. introduce the classes you can be. Also pretty good. And no players beyond this point. So it straight up is literally just, here's where you are and here's what you can be. Have fun. I think that's a pretty good jumping off point. And I'm sure a lot of the other ones will also follow a very similar pattern. We'll check out Exhibition at WorldAnvil again. Though I don't recall this one having like such a clear separation between player and GM stuff. I don't know. So this is info about the actual one-shot itself. This is where the rules are, or opt-in for rules. Characters you can be. Why you're here. Just a handout for the players. I think whatever I end up doing for Adventure April is I'd like to make little things that you can hand out to players. Because genuinely, anytime I've ever played D&D, it has filled me with such joy and elation to be handed something like in character that's like a physical thing that I'm holding in my hands. Like anytime the DM just comes strapped with like scrolls and stuff and letters, especially if they got like the little wax stamp on them, like it's beautiful. Just makes my gremlin brain happy. All right. So I'm assuming that running the exhibition is going to, like, anything below this line is going to be what's like GM stuff. So this is like all the stuff that you would know if you're running the game. So yeah, this I guess what I'm looking for is like what should I include in just the player section? Because of course I'm going to go into like plotting and rules and all that kind, not rules, but like the mechanics that will be thrown at the players. That would all be in the GM section. That'd be a separate section. So I just want to know, what are we giving players? What do they need to know? And so, of course, system rules, for sure. Any handouts, awesome. Characters they can be, also cool. And the introduction and why they're here. Seems pretty reasonable. And you know, I'm going to share the links with everybody, just in case you also want to just check them out. These two in particular were last year's Adventure April winners. We're not gonna have winners this year. It's like, it's not a competition this year. It's just kind of a little challenge, make a one-shot, you know? Or choose your own adventure or anything like that. And so we just got these two articles that were last year's winners. Very cool. And I don't know, what else we got? D&D 5e, free one-shots. The Abandoned Lighthouse. The players are hoping to catch a ship in Phaepon, but something in the city doesn't seem quite right. After asking some questions, they find out that there have been some mysterious disappearances lately, and so begins the adventure. You'll find maps, NPC portraits, and anything you would expect from a one-shot. Check out the Abandoned Lighthouse. I sure will. Alright. It's a one-shot adventure intended for an established small party that is about level 3. Okay. We love a good one-shot that starts not at level 1. And again, I'll just throw the link in here. If you ever need ideas for a little D&D one-shot, there will be plenty of those in stream today. And so, the party hoping to catch a ship across the channel from the Principality of Arian to the Kingdom of Delrin has arrived in the coastal city of Phaepon. However, there is a distinct air of disquiet in the city, so they head to the place all adventurers go for news, the nearest tavern. That's true. Okay, so it looks like this just goes right on in, like no real introduction, It just tells you exactly how the story kind of goes. Grace has subscribed. Hello, thank you. Thank you, welcome. I hope you enjoyed today's adventure. No structure, only maybe getting some work done. A subscription is very much appreciated. Oh, there's a secret door stat block? Oh, it's trapped. How are we doing today? We are doing tired, but eager to be productive. Right now, I'm just looking at past entries to Adventure April, basically one-shots that people have made for currently D&D. This is a 5e one-shot. I'm just looking for inspiration for how I might lay out an article with my own one-shot for this month, because I will also be participating in Adventure April. For the first time. I've never written a one-shot before, but I'm determined. We'll figure it out, we'll get there. Yeah, so this one does not separate like any kind of like this is player knowledge, this is GM knowledge, that I can tell, anyway. It just kind of goes in, and you just essentially just make any party, and you just throw them in here. It's pretty cool. Oh, the Tanglewood Fair by Ty Barbary. Well, let's check out Welcome to Tanglewood Fair as well. This one-shot is all about having fun in a festival. There are several mini-games you can run for your players, and there's even a boss battle. It has tons of read-aloud text, stat blocks for your NPCs, and even reference art. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the design of this world too. It's very pretty. Like I like this map in the header. It's cute. I'll just pop this link in here for anyone who wants to check it out. Okay. And so this is designed for 5e, but is setting agnostic. Character level 1 through 4, or play one of the NPCs. 1 to 4 players of any experience level. Festival Specival. 1 silver point. Silver piece. White Dragon Ale. I love when people put little tooltips on things, like especially if we might not know what such a thing is. So we have White Dragon Ale. This is a frothy pale ale with a hint of spearmint and rosemary. Low alcohol content. I just like the details. It's fun. And Rain Wine, thusly named because it's so watered down, the original wine can no longer be identified. Low alcohol content. I love that. Oh, we got more drinks. Of course, what is a fantasy setting without a drink called troll piss? Disgusting but devastatingly effective if you want to get smashed on one drink. Enjoying a good lurk. That's good. I'm glad you're doing well. And welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're having a little lurk. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be like this is definitely one of those streams where I don't really expect a whole lot of chatter. I'm just kind of hanging out in my own little world, trying to figure out what I'm doing. Oh, I like sunflower mead. That's nice. I wonder if I'd like such a thing in real life. I'm not actually 100% sure if I actually enjoy mead like in the real life. I don't actually know if I've tried it. I'll be honest with you. Sunlight-colored honeyed mead that smells faintly of sunflowers and tastes sweetly aromatic. See, just from that description, like, I want to try some. It sounds really nice. Okay, so. Oh, there's more foods. I love that. That's really cute. They have like a little menu. Yeah, so there's an introduction here. It's like a very narrative style introduction. We have NPCs. And these can be playable. And playing fair. This is gambling. Bet your bottom copper. Bronze-colored dragonborn woman meets your gaze with a sly grin. With one hand, she flips a gold coin high in the air and catches it effortlessly. Come to call on Lady Luck, traveler. She opens her other hand and drops a pair of carven bone dice on the weathered bar top before her, then nudges them towards you with one long clawed finger. It's pretty fun. So it's a little gambling game you can play. Holding hands would make it angry? Is that arm wrestling? I love that. Yeah, so they have a little introduction. They have like a whole bunch of games that you can play at the fair. That's really cute. I love that. After the players have enjoyed a few games, it's time for the main attraction. Boss baby battle? Interesting. Alright. Pint-sized poltergeist. That's cute. Yeah, so this is a cute little adventure. You just go to a fair, you play some games, get some food, get some drinks, and then you fight Boss Baby, apparently. It really is that simple. Okay, okay. Close all these tabs that I have open. There's so many. Rumble in the Jungle by Dazzlin' Cat. Sounds like a fun one. Let's check out Rumble in the Jungle. It's time to be a pirate and sail the seven seas. Well, more or less. After disembarking, the players will find themselves as an escort to a group of merchants that need to travel through the WorldAnvil jungle. The one-shot has several maps as well as 6 pre-generated characters for your players. Ooh. Oh, we are greeted by Gorilla. Let's get that link in there. That's what we're looking at right now. Right. And so we have another little narrative intro. And there's Captain Tarhill has decided to send some of his crew to protect them along the road, and the crew he picked is you. And here we have pirates. Okay, yeah, so this one really is just as simple as you have a little narrative intro, and then you have characters you can choose from. And then, if you are a player, read no further. And yes, so it straight up just goes into describing the story, what's happening, all the little read-alouds, calls for players to make checks. It's a lot of fun. And we got this little map here. Ooh. This one's fun. It's made with a dungeon alchemist or something. I know that's a thing that people have been using for various maps lately. I have a friend of mine who also uses it. Don't mind me just like crunching my neck real quick. It's really unfortunate how often I have to do that, but it's okay. Yeah, so we get to this place. We're in we have a little map. Do we have no layers here? I'm wondering, is this just the terrain or is there stuff on here? Like little flowers, very cute. Ah, do not bonk me. I'm sitting like mostly straight. I'm just like sitting on my foot, so. Mostly. There on the jungle road are 2 dead gorillas. Oh no. Yeah, so more stuff. Got little DC checks to do different things. Camping out. Monkey mayhem. That's great. Guerrilla warfare. Oh my gosh, the titles for all of these headers are so good. I like these little jungle path. I like having the maps. Breakfast is beans and a molasses sauce on biscuits and served with a mug of cider. Ooh. So this is all good. So for every little thing that happens, they've included a little narrative snippet that I guess like is meant for the DM to read aloud. And then you just go from there. You have little tasks and obstacles and things. And depending on how the players do, good things happen, bad things happen. I know it all probably sounds very standard, but I'm still like wrapping my brain around how all these things are laid out and function. So yeah, Mind Over Mimic by Zekonster. Ever wondered how an escape room game show would work in a D&D game? Well, stop wondering, because that's what this one-shot is. The Game Master, an evil wizard, has kidnapped the player characters to make them play his game. Also, there are mimics, which is the only reason I need to play. That's fun. Yes, we have Mind Over Mimic. I'll just grab that link for everybody who wants to go have a look at it themselves. D&D 5th edition adventure for a party of level 3 to 5 characters. So yes, there's the introduction, of course. That's where that's what players would be aware of heading into this. And then there's the scenario. The Game Master's game is quite simple. Find the objects in the rooms that are not mimics and obtain the 9 hero tokens hidden within. Once all 9 hero tokens have been brought into the final room, the 3 contestants who gather the most hero tokens will get to collect their prizes. Then the party will be allowed to leave. Or will they? Dramatic thunder. That's cute. And yeah, so this does not like announce anywhere that like this is player info, this is DM info. I just like that stuff being very obvious. Not even because it's like difficult to tell, because I like giving people the exact stopping point so they don't accidentally read ahead for funsies, because I will do that. Of course, I'm just reading through these in general right now. I'm not like, I don't know that I'll end up playing these games, if that makes sense, but I would like to know how they are written, how they are designed. As we're playing the Game Master. The Game Master is a sadistic wizard who kidnaps people to make them play cruel games. In Mind Over Mimic, he wants the contestants to turn on each other, only for the winner to have to beg the others to save them from the treasure chest mimic. Aha! He will loudly cheer on betrayal and selfishness if a successful sleight of hand check is made to steal a hero coin from another player, but the result isn't 20 or higher. The Game Master will notice and make a cryptic remark about it. On the other hand, if the party works together, he will grow increasingly sullen and reveal the final twist before the winner can be attacked by the mimic. That's fun. So this is just a whole adventure where players have been kidnapped and whisked away to a magical land of many, many mimics. All right. Oh. Okay. I sit. Okay. I'm a fan of it. Secrets in the Swamp by Kefgayako. Always a name I like to see pop up. Party is traveling through a swamp when they find an abandoned caravan with clear signs of violence. You can run this one-shot as part of a campaign or just by itself. It has interactive maps, stat blocks, and tons of lore to make the setting feel deeper. So yeah, let's check out Secrets in the Swamp. And there's that little link for everybody. Let's see. This one-shot will be converted to another system and is currently system agnostic. Cool. And so this one-shot can actually be added to any campaign as long as the group is traveling through a swamp. If it is run as a one-shot, the group will start as members from the Vanguard. They receive a mission briefing at the Vanguard headquarters near Edron. Okay. And this one-shot could later easily be expanded into a longer story as the ruins may pose many questions. It can be a start for exploring a vast laboratory or perhaps reason for many strange alien creatures to appear around the world. Ooh, you got aliens. Let's see. So we have adventure background. So we have the Vanguard over here. An organization dedicated to the protection of humanoids along the eastern part of Farless. The Vanguard was originally formed in the Middle Era, when the countries were smaller and did not have sufficient armies to hold off against monsters and other threats to civilization. Alright. Get out of my swamp! Yes, and so little map here with the Endra swamps. Yeah, so this also just kind of goes right into the story. Okay. So this seems like another one that's kind of just written straight up for the one person who is running the game and not necessarily player focused, because there's not a lot of player information here. Yes, normally the road between Edron and Torini is quite safe, but recently many traveling merchants have disappeared. None of the missing people have even arrived at Niravi. The Vanguard therefore thinks that something is afoot near the edge of Ender Swamps. The group will leave the Vanguard fortress and travel the road towards Niravi to investigate. I'm a fan of it. It's pretty cool. Fun little one-shot. Going through a swamp. You can encounter one giant crocodile. Or plant monsters disguised as bushes. A swarm of weird-looking purple birds with parts of their bodies covered in scales. None of these creatures are actually supposed to be here. In recent times, there's never been a report of them. So you get to the swamp's edge, and there are strange creatures about. They may not be completely strange, but they're certainly out of the norm for this setting. Get out of my swamp. Yeah, so this is cool. This is using WorldAnvil map feature. You got little map pins, blood spatters, deserted cart. That's cool. These are, I like the way these maps look. And yeah, so definitely no matter what I end up doing, I do want to put a map in my little one-shot somehow, some way. I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know if I want to completely make like a bajillion maps from scratch or just like a couple good ones, a couple maps that just like cover a wide range, I guess. I'm not sure which words I'm looking for when I describe what I mean, but I know what I mean. And once I put it into action, then you will also know what I mean. And so this goes into the gods and angels of the world. do find it interesting that like the background information for like the adventure and I guess the world as well is all in the sidebar here that forces you to kind of go through the entire adventure as well to read through it. But yeah, I don't know. People have many different ways of designing their articles. Well, let's see. Cult of the Sun Lion by Scholar Mage. I'll look at that one too. I think we're just gonna like go down this list until I decide, okay, let's do this. The adventurers are in a desert town where they realize a dangerous cult is attempting a kidnapping. This is a combat-heavy one-shot with several encounters, very atmospheric writing, and beautiful maps to go with them. And so yes, we have Cult of the Sun Lion one-shot. And there's a little link. And so again, we have this little intro here. Adventure is optimized for 6 level characters. Okay. And then this, oh, look at this map, it's so nice. It's just an image. It's so pretty. It's really nice. So they got this map from Neutral Party. Ooh. Very cool. So yeah, I guess if you want maps like this one, you can go to Neutral Party on Patreon. And so you have the points on the map, and each individual point has a little location you can go to. So like when the characters decide to go shopping, they visit a smaller bazaar in town, and they give the DM a little description that they can read out to the players to tell them what's going on and where they are. It's very fun. Nashwa's tokens. Oh. She sells magic tokens. Each token carries a single-use spell bound within it. That's fun. Halfling abduction, fiery retreat. Ooh. Very fun, yeah. So this is another cool map. Ooh. Fancy little desert scene. Desert temple, maybe? A little crumbly. Oh, and there's a ravine. Oh, what is that? Oh, an enormous lizard. That's fun. Oh, it's actually a basilisk. We got magic. Ooh. Oh, it's got like magic items. That's fun. Bracelet of ebony fly. Got well, I'm thinking about the word stat block. There we go. Got a stat block for the giant basilisk. Got flies. Got the shining man. Yeah, I mean, I think making some stat blocks would be really cool, but I also don't know what system, if any, I want to actually run this in. So if I choose like no system at all, I could just make some manner of stat block that just says like, oh, they have like this nature of skill. So I could say they're like a particularly dexterous creature. So whatever your system you're playing in, you might say, so I can give it like a 16 to 20, anywhere in that range, dexterity. Like a, something like that. Just a little guesstimate. Yeah, it's really cool. Like whatever I end up doing for my adventure, I want nice maps. This map here, it's beautiful. It's very nice. I have to see where I can source these cool maps from. I can make them myself, of course, but I don't know. I have like a very particular way of making maps. And how about What Ails You by Nightflyer1? I'll just grab that. The party has been guarding a caravan, but they are now stranded due to a sudden lack of trade. This is when the town mayor approaches them to offer them a job. This beautifully formatted one-shot has everything you need and more, including maps, NPC portraits, read-aloud text, and stat blocks. That's very high praise. And so we have What Ails You by Nightflyer1. Here we go. They got token image from Hero Forge and Wizards of the Coast with assistance from WorldAnvil. Okay, so we got What Ails You. We have one-shot adventure, number of players, levels, pre-made characters available. I do like this little key that they have. So it says notes from GM will look like this. Sample dialogue will look like this. That's fun. And so we got the setting, the quest. So the party is a group of adventurers who have been working together for years. The party was guarding a caravan, but they have found themselves stranded due to a surprising lack of trade within the town. None of the caravans are moving. The party is in the marketplace trying to find a job of some sort when the town mayor approaches. He's a human male named Tranus Hayford, and he wears a smart suit and hat. So is the mayor. I do like that they have little portraits for all the little characters. And now, I assume these are the pre-made characters here on the side. Oh, we got half-orc barbarian, tiefling warlock, halfling rogue, hill dwarf cleric, high elf wizard, half-elf bard, human ranger, and a dragonborn paladin. Alright. And it just goes all into the adventure. And oh, we have some info here. We have info about the towns. Ooh, duchies. So this is one of those maps where they have layers with different different boundaries laid out and everything. So we have the duchies, we have the counties. It's pretty cool. They're just fun to look at. I'll open the map in the full view, because it is, of course, very hard to see when it's just a tiny little section of the screen. So this is the base map. You can see all the different actual cities. And then we have these, and then some of them are broken up into smaller counties. Very fun. One day when I actually figure out more political borders and countries and things, I might try to do something similar. I may try to make a map, maybe not like that necessarily, but at least one that tells you more about that kind of stuff. And so it's broken up into parts, and they go to this one place. So for the sake of time, a montage journey would be most appropriate. Little GM notes. Yeah, don't spend too much time traveling, because it's gonna be a while. It's a 2-day journey. So they go there, they travel to the city. Okay, okay. And part 2, they go to another location, do another thing. Got some different maps. It's an underground map. Another underground map. Ah. I tried to zoom out of this one more, but it didn't let me before. Interesting. The party is faced with a locked inner door. Oh no, why are parties always subjected to locked doors? Havoc has subscribed. Hello. Thank you very much. I'm glad to see you back. Look at you go. 3 months. Crazy. Many hearts. Let me just shoot some back at you. Isn't it crazy that I've been streaming for like 3 months? Actually kind of wild. Or close to it. Since January. And here we are just chilling, having a good time, doing whatever it is that we do. Right now it's just the experience of me learning how to write a one-shot. Large flattened stalagmite. I love me some stalagmites, not gonna lie to you. They're one of my favorite, like, cave features. Stalagmites and stalactites. I used to be one of those kids that loved going on, like, trips to caves. You know, any of those tours where they'll, like, take you through caves, and, like, especially the ones where they'll, like, take you on a boat through, like, caves that have water in them. Very fun, very cool. I would also be the kid that, like, begs my parents to let me do, like, those little sifting, like, panning activities where you just buy a bag of dirt and whatever little crystals and honestly probably just little glass shards that they put in there for the kids to find, like, yay, I got a gemstone. Yeah, I would bully my parents into buying me those. I just really liked collecting rocks. You could say it was a special interest of mine. I still love shiny rocks. They're very good. Where am I? Oh. Oh. So that's why we aren't allowed inside, because they're locked, because they don't want people getting in, because it's quarantined. Hmm. Aha. So there's a whole table for this illness and how many times you can fail it and what happens to you as you do. There's like a hair that's like touching my mouth, but every time I try to brush it away, it's just like not going away. So the party can easily see the tavern sign from where they are, about 4 buildings down. It's fun. Yes, they have all the little icons for the NPCs that they can meet. It's fun. I have an idea for I'm gonna say not for Adventure April this year. Maybe a future, just general, me writing a one-shot. I do have something in my world that I've defined as like the first quest that someone gets sent on when they reach a city in my world. But it is outside of the region that I want to focus on for Adventure April. So I'll put it on the back burner for now. But sippy. But I wrote about like this specific type of plant that grows in Bokan, which is, you know, like most of the continent away towards the southwest. And this it's like this thing where there's a type of food that is very it's like one that the city is known for. It's a type of sweet, and this plant is used to make that sweet. It's not like especially common, but it's not terribly rare either. And so adventurers who come to this specific tavern in the city will just be sent out on their very first ever quest to just go find some of those things. Find that plant, bring it back here. We'll treat you to some of this iconic delicacy that we that we produce here. And now I'm thinking about what kind of silly little antics an adventuring party can go through while they're just looking for a plant. Like if we know D&D players, which many of us are D&D players or no D&D players, a lot can happen in such quests as, hey, we're looking for this one plant. Everything will go wrong all around that scenario. So now we go to the mines. And then we find a cure. Oh, and see, so there's aftermath, and there's the little outcomes of what could happen. So if the party is successful, excellent. If the party broke quarantine to return to the city, and the DM rolls to see if the town became infected as a result of the party's return. Ooh. They won't be rewarded, but they have options to make sure that their town doesn't die. And if the party is unable to acquire the ingredients at all, then no one can return. Everybody dies. The end. I love that. Everyone just dies. The end. Very good, very nice. We love a happy ending. So yeah, I did like the way that article was laid out, so I think I will like hold on to that one just as like a little, just as a little reference. So we have The Chris by Frigid Lich D&D. This is an action-packed rescue mission where the player character will have to find a missing noble. This one-shot includes a detailed dungeon with branching paths, magic items, stat blocks, and maps. Very fun. I assume this up here is one of said maps. And like always, the link for those who wish to have it. Okay, so this is a D&D 5e one-shot adventure authored by Frigid Lich D&D. Relies on 5th edition resources. Okay, yeah, I got you. Maps used in this adventure have been made by the author using Dungeon Draft. Dungeon Draft is a cool resource. It is one that I have used to make maps before. It's pretty handy, it's pretty good. I think just stylistically I prefer to use Incarnate, but that's like, I like both. I've used both. During my first ever Mapvember, I used Dungeon Draft. Sorry, my brain just turned off in the middle of that sentence. Yeah, I made a whole bajillion maps using Dungeon Draft. Oh my gosh, Dungeon Fog is a totally different thing. Also a good platform for making maps, but a different one. The Chris is a one-shot kick-the-door style adventure designed for D&D tabletop RPG system. This adventure includes mature topics such as substance abuse and extremist violence. We love a little bit of violence. And yes, so intended for a party of 4 to 5 6th-level characters. Adventure was designed as the rescue of a missing noble in a homebrew world, but can easily be adjusted to fit any setting that includes demon summoning cults. The plot hook assumes the adventurers work as swords for hire and are willing to do work for the King's Steward. The GM is welcome to alter this plot hook to better fit their needs. Right. And the plot hook. At the beginning of the adventure, the party has been given a mission to locate and extract Prince Askeladd Caradan, the second son of King Eric Caradan III. The King's Steward hires the party, offering them 500 platinum pieces, or an audience with the king, for safe and discreet retrieval of the prince, who is thought to have snuck away from his guards to a known drug den, where he may be using mind bloom powder. So the king's son is a druggie. He wants to go out and have a little fun. Do a little devil's lettuce with his friends, you know? The party is given a physical description of the prince and is urged to keep the matter as secret as possible. Yeah, we don't want the world to know that the prince is on that Zaza, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. And background info for the game master. Yes, the party sets out on the adventure thinking the prince is involved in a drug ring. During the adventure, they will slowly find out that Mind Bloom Powder Den is only used as a cover-up for shadier business. At first, this will appear to just be a scheme to steal jewelry and money off of unconscious addicts, but some clues in the first areas as well as the old temple in the final areas will reveal this is really a ploy to trap and sacrifice addicts with the intention of summoning and enslaving demons. When Prince Caradan wanders into the den, the villains use it as a unique opportunity to summon and enslave a powerful demon. Although the creature's stat blocks are clearly labeled as cultists, avoid using this name when describing them to the players to avoid spoiling the mystery and the adventure. Yeah, so that's a good little example, like a little DM note. Just this is what the adventure is. Here's some little info. Here's a little pro tip for you. Don't call them what they really are until the players know what they are. Most certainly. And yeah, so we got locations and stuff for the DMs to read. I see that a lot, and I do like that a lot, so I'm probably gonna do something like that. Yeah, so we have. Yeah, so it describes the NPC, human commoner, named Bryn. And there's a little guide for role-playing this NPC. A careful, soft-spoken man in his early 30s, wearing fine clothes, he tends to the counter and charges patrons 5 gold pieces to enter the den. Bryn is not hostile unless attacked, but he tries to find out if the adventurers are here for pleasure or trouble. Bryn tries to convince the party to try Mind Bloom Powder, which he believes to give a warm, comfortable feeling and colorful visions. If asked or interrogated, he doesn't know where Caradan is, but suggests to players look for him in Area 5. He thinks this place is just a Mind Bloom Powder operation. He does not know anything about the areas 9, 10, and 11. Yeah, so the areas refer, of course, to this map. I'm gonna pop that open as well so we can get a better look at that. Now we got Area 1, and then Area 2, we walk in here. Everything in here is all broken and dilapidated. This little bathroom chamber pot situation. 3, room 5. Oh, that's... Them's be bodies. Yeah. Area 6. Area 7. 8. And there's 9. With the little gargoyles. Gargoyles. Area 10 and Area 11. Certainly no cult behavior or activity being observed here. No, sir. You go into the den. That's another location. There's commoners lying around the room. In the hallway, loud noises such as combat or the thunderwave spell alert creatures in Area 6. Oh, so there's creatures in Area 6. Oh yes, so Area 4 is indeed the toilet. The stone floor of this room is slippery and covered in grime. There's fungus growing alongside the edges of the room. A strong acidic stench of vomit fills the room. Delicious. That's definitely my favorite smells to come out of a bathroom. There's trapped storeroom. There's no lighting. Floor is made of stone. Yeah, so there's bodies wrapped and tied in sheets. Ooh. And they've been dead for several days, and medicine check reveals they died of mind bloom powder overdose. And there's a smoke trap. Oh, and there's a little secret for if someone has a high passive perception. And that would tell you that there is a trap here. In the living quarters, there are 5 cultists and a commoner. The door to Area 8 is locked, but can be picked. Loud noises such as combat or thunderwave spell alert the creatures in Area 7. So the cultists, the creatures? I wouldn't normally consider, like, people to be creatures. Halfling Mill is the manufacturer of powder. Ooh. Showing cultists how to process the dried drug. Oh, there's a sky door. This room has no lighting. Torch sconces are empty. Closets. Closets in this room take the form of bats and hang from the walls. It's a lot of fun. We love icky, sticky creatures that just cling to walls. Alright, of course, there's the office as well. There's a well-made bed in the corner of the room, a tidy desk with a lantern, inkwell and a letter on it, as well as a set of shelves littered with shiny baubles and trinkets. I love the word bauble. It makes me happy. The word trinkets also does. They're both good words. I like acquiring both. Oh, on the desk there's 5 onyx. I love when you just find gems around, you know? Pretty good. That's the gargoyle hall. Oh, I was right, they are gargoyles. Okay, cool. I just wasn't sure, 100%. Oh goodness. Yeah, and I am having a little peek. I'm having a little peek at my gosh, my stream manager right now. It's not giving me alerts for followers, so if you're still hanging around here, Jim's World, thank you for following, and Legitimine, thank you for following as well. I don't know why Streamlabs is doing this. Last week it was having problems with this, but then it started working again, just out of nowhere, and now it stopped working again. Icky. Very irritating. I want to be able to see when people are, you know, coming to hang out. I want to welcome you, say hello to you. But anyway, we have the Chamber of Devotion. Oh, there's alternate maps. Ooh, the Game Master map. Let's see this. I think that's just the one that we were looking at. Player map. How about that one? Oh, it's the same map, but without any labels on it. Printer-friendly player map. Ooh. Aha, black and white. Very cool, very cool. So yeah, this is fun. I like that there's different options for maps and little handouts that you can give players. So yeah, that's cool. And so let's see what's in here. So we have the full map over here. Game Master map. And we have these little lantern revealing, packed blade. It's a couple magical items that may or may not exist. Now I kind of wish that there was a little like description for this. Of course there's the image, but I'll probably mention something about these things, just in general. Yeah, I'm not necessarily here to read through these articles. I'm more just here to see how they're laid out, how people organize their one-shots, how people put these things together. Because eventually I will make my own, and I will put that together. But in the meantime, we're also going to look at Race to the Ruins by George Sanders. And so here, Vlad needs the help of the party to retrieve certain magical artifacts, but there's a catch. A wizard is also trying to gather those same artifacts. This one-shot is a time challenge between the party and the wizard. It contains reference images, stat blocks, and even supplements, like tips for running the one-shot and warm-up questions. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, let's check this one out. And again, I will drop the link for you. Here it is, Race to the Ruins by George Sanders. I'm gonna adjust my back pillow. I'm gonna sit in my chair like a normal person, I promise. We're doing our best. Doing our best to be a people. Yes, I don't know how many people know, but I have Calico pillow, a lumbar pillow. He's very cute. I love him. He's a delight, and he helps my back feel good. He encourages me to sit like a human being. Yes, here we go. Race to the Ruins. We have our little introduction. It's a one-shot adventure for 2 to 6 players in the Unhold Wildlands setting. This adventure introducing the Unhold Wildlands is available for personal or commercial use. It is laid out to be a system agnostic but easily adaptable to any 5e or Pathfinder 2e compatible system. If you use it commercially, please provide the following attribution. Race the Ruins, an introduction to the Unhold Wildlands by George Sanders. Enjoy! And yes, of course, we have another article that begins with a little, like, narrative snippet. It's very fun. I cannot stress enough how much I enjoy just seeing little narrative snippets to introduce different things in worlds, especially in articles that aren't like this. Like, you're not writing about an adventure. Like, if you're just making an article about some random thing, some random item, some random place, you put in like a little narrative snippet and I'm all over it. Like, yes, let me experience your world in more than just description. Put me in there in story form. Very good. And yeah, so oh, there's support pages, little table of contents. Ooh. Okay, so there's the background, of course. The Red Lion Inn had a busy night As the evening wound down, Vladar Umarov introduced himself. An academic from South gathering artifacts, he spoke with each party member at length. He sang stories about some of his past discoveries, set to popular melodies. Vlad came to study the ruins near the inn. The Holtzwain Academy, his sponsor, hoards artifacts, sometimes selling them to wealthy nobles. Their expert curations will surely make each find a great boon to society. When Vlad couldn't make the pitch soar, he switched gears. A healthy hike through the forest and an afternoon studying old buildings. A little digging, that's all I need. Yeah, so the conversation revealed that the ruins likely hold valuable artifacts. Another team from a competing city, Coralgate, had shown up to acquire the artifacts as well. Vlad had been in this situation before and does not wish to return home empty-handed. His tone was straightforward. He was out to win. He wanted to know if the party could handle themselves if a tense situation arises. He offered a hefty 50-coin payment to each party member to be an escort. He expects to use their labor when gathering artifacts. That's a fun little adventure. Guy wants you to go do some digging so you can find some artifacts for him. And synopsis. And so there's summary. Okay, so yeah, I like this. Adding like a synopsis that just very casually summarizes like this is what happens throughout this adventure. Okay. So it's it's under a little like spoiler button for summary for GM. So if you're a player, maybe don't read that. Although I feel like, oh, okay, players stop here, please. Cool. See, I like the articles that just straight up say, players, scram. Get out of here. Do not pass go. Do not read the funny stories here. And so yeah, we'll see the adventure hooks. The characters could be locals or travelers passing through on the way to Etonia. Locals could be indigenous people of the forest, any half-race in your game system, tradespeople, clergy from the church, or magic initiates at the library. Travelers could be people coming to Etonia for the Fish and Biscuit Rally, ooh, immigrating from the south, or as caravan guards and drivers. All the characters were in the tavern and approached by Vlad. They agreed to help and meet with him after the evening settled. Use pre-session warm-up questions and a round of introductions reflect that. Discuss content players would want to avoid ahead of session. Review safety tools at the beginning of session. Split treasure evenly. Use highest dice roll among players that all want treasure or an item found. Let's check out what these warm-up questions are. Okay, it said all of that in the little pop-up here. Yes, what drink did you order on the last call? What is your favorite part of the inn? What will you do with your share of payment? What does your character wish they did today that they didn't finish? What artifact did Vlad sing about to your character? Encourage players to make a story. Use roll below for backup. Roll table? Is there a roll table here? No. Where's the roll table? I want to know now. Trinket table? I don't know. So I guess I would say if I had anything to say about that is I would like to know what that roll table is and how to actually access it where it is. That's fine. What's this? Hour? No worries. There's a little map. Ooh. I like the idea of just using like a photo for a map. These are the ruins. And yeah, so chapter 1, Inns and Ruins. The party meets. They go to the ruins, find hidden ruins. Chapter 2, they raid the repository. Okay, so this says hour because it should take about an hour. This should take about 2 hours. Interesting. So this one also says hour. So approximately 4 hours is what this one shot is anticipated to take. Okay, okay. Gives a good, like, gives a pretty clear estimate of, like, this is how long this should take. I don't think any of the other ones quite did that. I think they just kind of left it up to your own pace. Like, they didn't describe how long any of it should take. They're just kind of like, yeah, we just do this stuff. I feel like it's really hard to just predict how long specifically something is going to take. Because parties, they're not necessarily going to follow the plan. Parties take your plans and they just like toss them out the window, you know what I mean? They just ball them up and just chuck them in the trash can. That's okay. So they raid the repository. Oh, we got notes. Oh my gosh. I'm so sleepy. Yeah, okay. I feel like the way this is laid out, I'm finding myself a little bit lost. But that is okay. Party pushes tables together in the common room. A young woman named Dee provided Vlad with a rough map to the ruins. He lays it out and tosses a bag of coins on the table. It's half payment up front. He points on the map. I want to look at the remains of these 3 buildings. I'd like to get there as soon as possible. Dee can take us in the morning, but it looks like a 2-hour walk due north to get us there. I like these little options that it gives you. The party can haggle, and the NPC may offer an additional artifact or 25 coins extra. You'll ask twice if the party can leave in the night. This increases the chance of getting lost, but could save time. If they leave right away, they have them do a survival or tracking skill check. Each player that fails significantly could be exhausted from the trip. Fun, fun. Ugh, neck hurty. It is hard being a noodle. I am so looking forward to bedtime. Can I say that? Like I'm so tired today. After this stream, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm getting off of my computer. I'm having some ice cream. I bought it today. I one of the discords I'm in, everyone was talking today about how they're having ice cream, and so several people were like, "You inspired me, so I bought ice cream today." And so I also went and bought ice cream. And so it's just a whole day of eating ice cream as like a collective, as a friend group. And if anyone's wondering, I got 2 different flavors of ice cream. One is Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey ice cream, a classic, cannot be beaten. And I also got matcha green tea ice cream. Very good. I got some berries to go with that second one because I don't know if anyone's ever experienced it. If not, I absolutely recommend it. Get some green tea ice cream. Like if that's a flavor profile you like, get some green tea ice cream and just put some berries in it. I'm thinking raspberries and blueberries. Very good. It's very yummy. Such a nice little dessert. And that is exactly what I'm looking forward to having tonight. Finish my little chicken teriyaki dinner and then have some ice cream and berries. Yeah, so I am a little better understanding how exactly this works. Yeah,
Refresh yourselves.
Oh, just have a little sippy. Oh, thank you. Oh, this has also just been sitting back here, but I'm very excited to crack into these bad boys once I get the chance. Got my favorite Milano cookies. I'll just toss these back here. I just have a lot of snacks. I bought a lot of snacks recently, and so I'm very... It's taking a lot of my willpower not to just devour all of them, like inhale every single snack I own. Really, I'm just so loaded up on them. I got Pop-Tarts, I got Oreos, I got Milanos, I got ice cream, I got berries. It's real good. I also have cookie dough, like edible cookie dough in my freezer. If I'm starved of anything, it is not choice. I'm certainly not starved for choices. Again, I need to harness that willpower to not just eat every single one of them in one sitting. All cookie dough is edible if you disregard potential consequences. You're absolutely right. And, in fact, one of my fondest memories from college was sitting in our art studio at like 2 a.m. And we were all just like, obviously we're in the art studio at 2 a.m. We're already having a bad time. So we're like, okay, we need to take a break. We need to go eat something. The only thing open at that hour was the convenience store. So we went to the convenience store. And we looked up like this log of cookie dough. And we're just like, yeah, we're having that. And so we just bought, you know, like that plastic wrapped like log of cookie dough. And we were just like, we opened it, we're just like taking bites out of it. We certainly made a lot of choices in college, and I think that was a good one. I think that was one of the good ones. It tasted good. I don't think anyone got sick from it either, so a win is a win. Sometimes you just have to be brave. Or sometimes you just need to continue eating so much cookie dough that your stomach just like becomes immune to salmonella. I'm sure that could be achieved with with enough determination and just repetitive action. Let's just open all of these. Ooh. Oh, a door that speaks to you. Yeah, so I do feel flooded with inspiration. And so I'm thinking, because I do really like, I do like all the articles that are laid out in such a way that there's like parts. Like that there's parts or there's chapters or anything like that. And so I'm thinking, however, we're just gonna bake that into this article real quick already that we've been working on. We're just gonna throw in here that we are doing, I don't know if I want to do chapters. I'll just say part 1. Part 1 something cool and interesting title here. And we're just gonna, again, we're gonna throw in our little filler text. This is the first task that the party is set out to complete. And yes, for those who have not been watching either like earlier today or Saturday stream, I don't know what I'm doing for my one-shot yet. And so I'm putting together an article that is basically just a template for the actual one-shot that I'm going to be writing. And so that's basically what I'm doing here. All of this is filler text at the moment. So we have part 1, cool and interesting title here. And then I'm just gonna keep rambling in here until I get like a paragraph the size that I think might be good. Yeah, so like, you know, you have your parts and you have a little like paragraph to describe what's going on. And then you can have like whatever additional things we might want to fit in there. We'll see if I have more placeholder images that I can just kind of toss in and fill the space. These are headers, these are badges. Emotes. I don't wanna like upload any new images for this at the moment, so I'm just gonna see if I have anything that I can just throw in. I don't really want to put in like a full art of anything either, because it's gonna set a vibe to what I'm drawing, or not drawing, writing, before I've even written it. And I don't want to throw the Alright, you know what? I think maybe I will just make some filler images. Oh, my little window here. Okay. I don't know, we'll figure something out. We'll just, I'll make some kind of placeholder. I just don't know what I'd grab. I mean, I could just make like a transparent kind of deal. Where like, this is a placeholder image. Something is going to be here eventually, maybe, theoretically. It is possible that something will enter here. And I'll use my little font that I always like to use. Oh, do I have, oh, why does it automatically throw up, Lorem Ipsum? Do I not have that font? Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Please do not pop up there. Sorry, just looking up a font real quick. I find it kind of wild that this font just does not exist. Actually is quite wild to me that this font that is available on like Google Fonts is not available either on my computer or it's not available on my computer or on Adobe Fonts. That's interesting. Don't like that. Am I able to download it from Google Fonts? Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. Hello. Oh, I can download it. Give me that. Sorry, just doing some font shopping. I did not prepare for this. But hey, I'm not gonna be... Install this font, please. I'm so glad that installing fonts is like the easiest thing in the world to do. At the very least. Okay, now... Do you exist here, or do I have to restart you? Aha! It exists! Very good. We are essentially wizards. I'm just gonna make it kind of large. So yeah, I don't know. I guess we're also now deciding just in the moment what exactly I want a placeholder image to look like for my world, which is something that I want to have. You know, like I think it would be nice to have a placeholder image that's just like a stock image that I use whenever I want to put something in but don't have a thing to put in. So I can make in like a couple different sizes. So I'll say placeholder image. I'm thinking I could use the same paper texture that I use for the background of my world. And I'm thinking I don't really want this background layer to be a thing. I do kind of want this to be like transparent. Let's see. I just make this black. I do not know exactly how I would like to lay this out. This is like a little off center for you guys, but not a crazy amount to look at right now, so it's totally fine. Crunchy. What if I... Oh yeah, what if I grab my little world logo? That could be fun. Just throw this on there. Ooh. I just do something with it. So I think having that be on there in some capacity. Just make it like really small. It doesn't have to be like really small, but hello, are you center? Go away for now. Okay, that's center. Okay, we will... I feel like I just need... I would need to grab like a little section of article that just looks like the background of my article so I can actually see if it looks good. So we're just gonna grab a bunch of BR tags and just like spam them. It's probably overkill, but it's whatever. Okay. Yeah, we can work with that. That's actually exactly how many I needed. I was too quick to judge. We'll just snip tool that. I'll just kind of toss this in here as a little background image. And then I can see from there what it actually looks like if I put this image on it. Like if I just I'm thinking maybe if I do something like that, I could make a little outline for it or something. Like if I just outline it in a darker color. And then the whole thing can still be transparent. It'll just let's see. So let's crop this. Let's see. Da, da, da. Maybe I'll drop. I'll stop at you. Make it that color. Let's see. Make it 95%. Actually, we could go a lot higher. 98? 99? I'll do 99. And so now there's like a vague, very, very small border. Oh, but the border is gonna be... not if I do that. If I just select this and delete everything that's under it. There we go. So this is just to see what the image looks like. Let's set these both to 50. You can just kind of see that this is what the placeholder looks like set against that background. I think it's like it's very simple. It's very... I just need to edit it so that everything else is on there too. Let's see. So if we're gonna do the same color, might as well do that. I want this also to be so light. Could be fun, could be cute. These two things together, it could be centered like that. Oh, it seems like simple enough. Like I don't think I really need much more than that. What if I blur it just a tiny bit? Because I don't like it being quite so clean. Like I don't want it to be quite so sharp, you know? Yeah, it softens it like just enough. Can I filter you too? I can. Yeah, I just like it being a little softer than that. It's just we're not here. Do any of that. Let's see if I can't get some of the do not make sounds, computer, please. Doesn't really add a whole lot. I'm not making changes that are like barely perceptible. Listen, as an artist, sometimes you just do stuff that makes you question your sanity. So yeah, if I turn off the background, this is just what it looks like. But whatever. We'll export this as a little PNG, and we will see how we feel about it. We can export that. Let's see. I'll make a little folder for it. Placeholder images. so let's just go fish that out of our files. Okay, it's like right there, good. Upload that. Let's just copy that. I don't want it to take up just like the entire page. So let's get the row in there, column, pop that in there, column. Hey, isn't that a cool placeholder image right there? Slash row. I guess we'll just see how that looks. Hey, yeah, I like that. Oh, what is oh, this is like not the right screen size to be looking at this. There you go. Yeah, I'm a fan of that as like a little stock placeholder image for my world. It's very subtle. It's got my logo on it. Yeah, so I might just make some I might make some placeholders in like the common sizes, essentially. That look pretty much exactly like this. I will save this. You can see my little Photoshop window right there. Square placeholder dot psd. Da-da. And we'll just save that in there. All right, so now I have created a placeholder image for my world. Yay! I'm just gonna toss a little no link into the chat there. Not into the chat, sorry. Into the little BB code there. Yeah, so at this point I might as well just like switch screens completely. What if we save this as what's all the images I'd like to use are 5:3. So we're gonna make a little 5:3 ratio image. There we go. Now we need to see how I want to do this so that you know what, we'll just, oh wait, no, that didn't do what I wanted. Delete the crop pixels. Yes, there we go. I'm a little bit of a goofy goober, so I need to redo a couple things. Just humming along, don't mind me. Paste that. To resize this to 99%. Oh my god. You relax, Photoshop, please, thank you. Just don't like that the borders are so uneven. about if I increase that size a little bit? Yeah, it's a little too much. Just like increasing the size of the width a little bit. Because reducing the entire thing by the same amount made these two different sides uneven, and I did not like that, so, oh my god. Now we just do what we did last time. We grab this, delete the brown underneath. Also want this layer to be 50%. And yes, I know, smart filters. Oh my god, why? I just want you to be a little smaller. Cool, okay. So now we have our little 5:3 ratio image. Yeah, like so many of the like arts essentially that I have for my world are specifically in the ratio 5:3. I don't know why that's the one I've just like gravitated towards. It's just, I guess, my favorite. It pleases me the most. It feels right. I don't know any better way to explain it. Sometimes when you're an artist, you just gotta do things a certain way. Da, 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 da. Hi, where am I? Yeah, we can just come back here. Boom, here we are. Get this window off the screen. It's my bad. Upload our 5:3 placeholder. Copy that, and actually we will replace the image that we have in the sidebar right now with this one. Because the image that I currently have in here, the birds, of course they are meant to be a placeholder, but now this is like an actual placeholder, and it looks like a placeholder. Yeah, this is good. This is good. I wasn't expecting to do like this. I wasn't expecting to do some like design for my world during the stream, but hey, I did. As long as it's prep for Adventure April, I don't really care what exactly it is that I'm doing. I'm just gonna have a little squash real quick. That good crunch. Yeah, okay, so now we have placeholder images. Yay! That's so exciting. It is straight up one of those things that I've wanted to do for my world for a very long time. Just have some placeholder images so I stop putting random junk into articles. But anyway, I'm wondering what other sizes I might want to make. Because we have square. Square's good. We have 5:3. I could make like a long, like a tall 5:3. 3:5. I guess that would be. Instead of 5:3, it'd be 3:5. Yeah, we could do that. Maybe. I just wanna throw us back here. Now it could genuinely just be as simple as rotating the canvas clockwise. And then just it's not okay, yes, I get it with the filters. Just rotate this also. And in fact, I will make it that simple. I am just going to export it that way. It does not need to be more complicated than that, my friends. Straight up, just easy one-step process. We don't gotta worry about nothing. Boom, here we go. Uploading some more images. I don't know, what other size might I desire? I also don't want to save it like this. There we go. She's beautiful. I don't really use a lot of other aspect ratios, to be honest. Like literally every single image I have, like every single image I own, every single image I use is just 5:3. Whereas like some different size because I just happened to draw something in a different size and just cropped it in a weird way. Nothing planned is ever not 5:3. It's a toughie. I could go with like some like normal aspect ratios. Like I know 4:3 is pretty popular. 4:3, 3:4. 16:9 if I want to do something like long. But again, I don't really use those, so I don't think I need them. So maybe we simply won't, because I just don't think I have a need for them at this time. But as you can see, like every single one of these images here, same aspect ratio, except you know this longer one. I think it's the same, just rotated again, like like the one I just made. So it'd be 3:5 instead of 5:3. And this one's square. I think this one's also square. So genuinely, it is just like I use one aspect ratio for my images, and that's pretty much it. Here's the rare one that just isn't that size. Glorious AI art. Of course, I had all my stream sketchies. These all squares. I don't think the bird. I don't think any of the bird sketches had like a particular aspect ratio. Because I think this is also one of the files where I just kind of cropped the file in some weird way while I was working, and then just kind of never set it to any kind of proper ratio. I just left it at whatever like I dragged it over to be. But yeah. The world of art is a process, most certainly. But yeah, I'm very happy with these placeholders, and hold on, I have to throw in the no link code. Because I don't want people clicking on these images. They're not supposed to serve a purpose except to just be there. To take up space, if you will. Yeah, so yeah, we're kinda getting somewhere with these. Like, you know, this is our little narrative intro, our regular intro, our information over in this little sidebar here, placeholder image. I don't know what I'm gonna put there yet. We'll figure it out. This will introduce the setting itself. Just give you a little summary that you can hand to your players, essentially, of what Melkora is and why you're here, what you can do here. And then when the actual adventure begins, this is part 1. This is what's gonna happen first. And then, you know, I'll make more. We'll figure it out. It's all about the process. It's all about figuring out what we're actually gonna write, because I don't know yet. I don't know what I want this one shot to be. I could just continue looking at more of these adventures, and in fact I really want to, because the next one on the list is Where's My Alligator by Katoipoi. And that just sounds like a delight on its own. I just really like Katoipoi's writing to begin with, so even if it wasn't about like a silly little alligator. But yes, so let's see. I'll grab this and the link as well. And so, as the party was getting ready for a karaoke night with hot food, cold drinks, and electrifying entertainment, they discover a giant alligator has disappeared. This is a fun one-shot with mystery and combat, and includes pre-generated characters, so you can set it up in no time. Check out Where's My Alligator? Ooh. Alright, so I'll drop that link for you guys if you want to check it out yourselves. So yes, this is another little entry for Adventure April 2022. Let's see. Adventure Overview. The PCs have come to Lola's Comfy Kitchen on karaoke night for a night of hot food, cold drinks, and electrifying entertainment. Upon your arrival, you are greeted by the owner, Mr. Pamplona, and asked to look for the kitchen's patron alligator, Kuya Buaya. You interrogate the employees and guests of the kitchen for information on the missing gator. Once you have gathered enough information, you embark on your search to find Kuya, extricate them from whatever trouble he is in, and bring him home. That sounds so fun. So where's the alligator? Then I think that might actually be one of the weirder things I'd ever be asked to find. Ugh. Neck hurty. Yeah, gateway to the zone. And so this describes who you are. So I'm just like scrolling through, getting a feel for how exactly this is laid out, more than I am here just to like read the whole thing. I recommend that you go read the whole thing, like, you know, it could be a fun little one-shot to run for people. Yeah, again, I'm just crawling through all of these looking for essentially some sagely advice on how to lay out these articles. How to lay out an article for a one-shot. Okay, so there's resolution right there. Friendly kaiju alligator, so I guess that's what happens. Leaving the kitchen. Gathering gator facts. Okay, yeah. So, gateway to the zone is when everyone arrives, introduces you to where you are and why you're here. You're all relatively new arrivals in the Kirinal Concordance Zone. You've finished your business in Gold Arrow Station. You walk towards the golden red sunset as you make your way down to the River District. You merge into the laughing cosmopolitan crowds and cross-dimensional visitors in search of a good meal. As you get close to the water, you are attracted to the smell of fried fish and the high-pitched squeal of hex crystals as the Magitech sound system is tuned for the upcoming singers. You have finally made it to Lola's kitchen and the famous karaoke night. That's so fun. I love the way Katoy describes things in his setting. I just love his setting, also. He was nominated for several awards alongside me. Not alongside me in any categories that I was in, but he was one of the nominees in our, like, big pool of people. There's so many good names in there, so many good people. So many excellent creatures. Not creatures, I'm a creature. So many excellent human beings. And honestly, if you want to go check out some of the people who are nominated for stuff, I super duper recommend it. And I actually still have like huge, like a whole compilation giant list of all of the nominees for everything over in my Discord server. If I think Streamlabs doesn't like me right now because it's just not doing my commands. That's pretty dope. Okay, I think Streamlabs is just like, it hates me. Whatever, I'll link it myself. That could be why I'm not getting any alerts for people following. Pretty good. But yeah. Sorry, I'll grab the link. I have it. It exists. I promise. Yeah, like if you just head on over. Oh. Uh-oh. Alright, my whatever just happened, my computer took it personally. Oh god. Yeah, my computer just decided, hey, yeah, we're gonna turn off your second monitor for a second. That's That's pretty cool. We love having technical difficulties. Oh, okay, I do have a Discord server of my own. I have a special little forum, little channel. Oh my gosh, I think my splitter's messing up because it just did it again. Can you please? Just relax. Yes, I have my own little Discord server where I post all my announcements, all my everything. I have a special little channel where I've listed every single nominee, all their articles, all their worlds, everything that got put up into the World Building Awards. And that was just such a wonderful collection of world building from the community. Amazing. I will talk up people in the WorldAnvil community forever. They're all amazing. They all produce amazing work. Check them out.
Refresh yourselves.
CM Nugget, thank you for the sippy. You heard me getting excited about my world building again, and so you made me a little break for a little sip. Yeah, if you like my stream and you like my art and you like, you know, just my content in general, definitely recommend hopping into my Discord server. You'll get all my announcements, you'll know when I'm going live, you'll know when I post new stuff. And I also like to post like world building resources and things in my little forum. There's just lots of good stuff, and I'm trying to build this little community of nerds who just like creating together and like sharing their work with each other. It's a good time. I seek to foster a welcoming community of nerds. And so far it's working out pretty well. Makes me really happy to see people just kind of like hanging out and chatting together. This has been one of those like really quiet streams, like nothing's really going on, no one's really being chatty today. That's like totally fine. But there are other days where I've seen just people just being so nice to each other, sharing ideas with each other in the chats, and like I love that. I love when that happens. It's so sweet and it's so fun to watch. And you guys like watching you guys gas each other up too. A delight. Absolute delight. Like I will absolutely gas you guys up, but watching you guys do it to each other, peak. I love it. That's the kind of energy we want to foster in this community. Both in my personal community and in the WorldAnvil community, world building community, nerd community, just overarching everything. Just be kind to each other, honestly. It's how it should be. But yes, so back to this article. Sorry, I went like a whole tangent there. Oh yeah, it happened because Streamlabs is acting up and is not being nice. I don't know what's up with it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Streamlabs is absolutely just like not working right now. But I see DM Chromie, you've just followed me. Thank you so much. I wish there's a little alert to greet you, but I guess we can't have nice things today. It's hard out there when technology just decides to not function. That's okay. That's kind of just how it goes. Yeah, back to the article. Haha. Gateway to the zone, of course, we have. That's our little intro. This is where we come in. This is where things show up. I usually wait till stream is over to avoid the alerts. Oh, well, you're lucky. You didn't have to wait. It's just not working. Welcome, welcome. See, I am very close to finishing stream. Like, I'm just kind of, I guess, winding myself down. It's 9 p.m. already, 9:01. I usually end around 9, so we'll be getting there soon. I'm glad to have you. Yes, Gateway to the Zone is where we enter. This is where we show up. This is what happens. Yeah, some of you are here to watch, others join in, others have come to see the famous alligator. Kuya sleeps under the porch and can transform into a gigantic version of himself to swim with the kitchen on his back, and sometimes goes off to fight other monsters. East Coast, Beast Coast, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know where it's at. So we arrive here. We have our little. We have entered the function. And now we find out Kuya Buwaya is missing. We got a little quote, we got a little NPC portrait there. I love the way Kitoipoi does like little quote boxes where he has like the NPC portraits on the side there. It's very fun and very cute. I would love to figure out how to do that at some point. And so yes, part 2, we find out that the alligator that so many have come to see is missing. And we're being offered a reward. Per adventurer. And so, yes, you find out the gator's missing. And so off we go into the next part of the quest. Gathering gator facts. You question the staff and guests. And we just have little answers. Little DM infos, like any questions that are asked, like how long ago did he leave? Did something happen 3 nights ago? What's north of here? The party can question the staff to discover different clues to find out why Kuya Buwaya left and where he went to. Additionally, everyone talks incessantly about Lola Carly, but she isn't in the kitchen. When asked, they change the subject, and if pressed directly, they stop the conversation and leave to finish setting up for karaoke night. This section uses Resolving Interactions chapter of the DMG. Unless otherwise stated, everyone in the kitchen starts out with an indifferent attitude. They'll answer 1 or 2 questions before going back to work. One player can make a DC 17 skill check to change an NPC's attitude to friendly. Only 1 attempt per NPC. The NPC will give the party more information and or something that can help them. Any result 7 or below shifts their attitude to hostile, and the NPC stops talking and goes to work. And if 3 NPCs become hostile, the party is ejected from the kitchen. That sounds about right. You're asking too many questions. They're just trying to work and you're in the way. Get out of the kitchen. And there's the barkeep. Ask more questions. Oh, honey, I'm not picking up what you're putting down. You'd best scat before I eject you from the kitchen. I love that. Love that little quote. Handy Goblin Guano! I love that name! That is the most goblin name I've ever heard of. I love that so much. Magitech Mechanica Guano. Yeah, and so of course we describe all of the NPCs that the party could talk to. Mr. Shadow. This is optional and can be skipped for this time. Go with your players here. Are they singers and role players? Do you have a karaoke setup and some time? Go ham. Oh, so this is an option where you can have karaoke combat with an NPC. And you can do this by having actual karaoke with your players. I adore that, actually. Mr. Shadow is an excellent singer specializing in soulful ballads to take advantage of a seismically deep voice. He loves songs like Do Be Cruel, Wound, Always Gonna Give You Up, and Old Gator River. Did I just get like inadvertently rickrolled? Oh wow. Defeating him in karaoke is a performance skill challenge, whereupon he will answer the player's questions. He knows everything that the DM knows. Yes, he knows that too. Mr. Shadow is actually more interested in a good showing and reward results as follows. Oh damn, if you absolutely bomb that performance, you take psychic damage. And you are ejected from the kitchen. Ah, a valiant effort. He answers 1 question, then ignores them. Excellent singing. Answers 2 questions and gives them a common magic item. A battle for the ages, well done. Answers 3 questions, gives them an uncommon magical item. I've met my equal. Answers all questions and gives them a rare magic item. So that's pretty fun. That is such a cute thing to like put into a one-shot where they can like, you can actually do the karaoke in the real life. But yeah, so in the sidebar here, we have the plot synopsis for the GM, which is something I saw in another article that I thought was really cool. So it keeps things really simple. It puts everything that you're about to go do into a nice little concise list. Very nice, very cool. So we have some pre-generated characters that you can play if you don't want to make your own. Yeah, players may use their own or pick a pre-generated character. Soul-Forged Paladin. Ooh. A blue goblin Psy Warrior with a big destiny and a glowing sword. Let's see who we got here. Elven Ranger specializes in hunting down aberrations. A Dwarven Artillery Artificer. Ooh. A human student war wizard about to enter his 4th year of study. Or a gnomish cleric of Rampol. Calls down the purifying power of the sun. That's fun. It's a lovely cast of characters. I got related characters. These are the articles for characters that exist in this one-shot. That's fun. So if you want to read about any of them individually a little bit more, you have little reading material available to you. It's a lot of fun. I would love to make something that's kind of like fleshed out, where there's background information that I can send people off to go read if they're so interested. Yeah. So you find the alligator eventually. And then I'm... Oh. Oh, so there's parasites inside of the guy. And you must enter the alligator. Literally. And help him. That's so fun. I just really, I enjoy this little adventure. Yeah. So that's a lot of fun stuff to look at. And I think with that I will actually be calling my little stream finished. We're going to see if there's any raiding that can be done today. And in fact, I think we will. So for those of you who are willing, I would like to send you all over to my friend Grinning Hazard. Looks like playing Dredge right now. That's pretty cool. Grinning Hazard is in his partner push. He's reapplying for partner very soon. He is hurting for engagement, so if you can literally just pop in there and put in like any message, just like say hello, put in a little lurk, do a little lurk command, like literally anything, and just like, you don't have to stick around if you don't want to. Just give him a little something. Say hello, have a little chat if you'd like. He's an excellent human, very wonderful. Someone I know from LARP, very cool. Very good friends with one of his partners. Yeah, it's so good. So, I will see you guys on Saturday for some more adventuring in April. Yeah, if you want to see me anywhere else, feel free to just pop by my about section. You can see my Discord, my social medias, you know, all that kind of stuff. Although this raid is going to send you over there, you're welcome to come back anytime. I'll always be glad to have you. Everyone, remember your sippies, stay hydrated, stay creative, have a good time. I will see you later. Goodbye. I'm still streaming, haha.